finally happening. You found Life with Brock. And if you like the content, you can help me by doing all the things that you're seeing on the screen. Let's go. Hey, what's up, folks? This Week in Customs, episode 43. I am your host, Brock, and this is the show where I go to the world of Instagram, custom action figures, and showcase the amazing work that artists around the world are doing on a weekly basis. And we do have a fan vote. Congratulations to Brimstone Ghost. You received 50% of the fan vote with over 300 votes in. Your Craven, amazing Craven, was selected as the fan's choice for last week's episode. Amazing, amazing work. There you see him there. It is really, really nice. One of the best Craven customs I've seen, and it's Mesco style players. All right. Getting after it this week, starting off with an amazing custom Carnage. Hold on, let me turn off the volume. Holy cow. Holy cow. Symbiote Seeker doing an absolute Carnage. If you're not familiar with this character, it is a storyline that's happening now. Right now, it's one of the best storylines out there right now that Marvel is doing. And Jamie, man, you have knocked it out of the park. This is my favorite custom that you've made, and you've made some doozies. I love that Taskmaster you did, one of my favorite ones so far. And this thing is probably, in my opinion, the best custom that I've seen in 2019. I'm not exaggerating. He made that figure. Where do you get that? You have to construct the player. You have to construct that figure. I want you guys to see this again. Of course, it's not letting me, but there you go. It's cycling again. He manufactured that joint right down the middle of the spine. He had to elongate. He's got a YouTube channel that he explains step by step how he was able to do this. A lot of sculpting. That head is unbelievable. And so the kit bash, the construction of this figure is amazing, but the paint job is so on the money. I'm so glad that he brought that reddish hue in. I wanted to spend time on this because, like I said, I think this is probably the best custom I've personally seen. Obviously, it's going to go to your taste, and don't let me sway the fan vote. I know that's a little bit unfair because I'm saying this is my favorite custom of 2019 so far, and there's been many great customs, but I mean, it looks like it just jumps straight off the page. All right, Bargain Bin Customs. Now you have to understand, this is the Build-A-Figure that Mattel actually just released. They did a really good job with that wave. He's taking it to another level with the repaint. Let's talk about the colors. He has nailed the colors. You know that that Killer Croc's kind of like a lime green. I'm not sure if I'm going to be putting one on the, hopefully I'm putting one on the screen right now that you guys can look. Hopefully I remember to put that B-roll in. But, oh man, look at the paint. The paint's beautiful. I think the wraps came out fantastic. The pants were also really well done. And this Build-A-Figure is really nice. And I think what you've been able to do here is you've been able to highlight their work better than they were able to. I now want to get this figure. Before I didn't, but after seeing what you've done here, I want it, and I think this is a top-notch custom work. Another top-notch custom work. We've come to expect it from Christina Conan. Her female figures are at the top of the game. Beautiful hair, beautiful paint apps. And I don't want you guys to miss this, because when a customizer does consistently good work, great work like Christina does, sometimes you can start undervaluing their product because, too much of a good thing, it's like a law of diminishing returns. Well, every single time she puts out great work, we can't miss out the fact, look how clean she's applied those paints. It's better than factory because there's no blends on it. The paint just is very eye-catching, very well done. Love everything about this Rogue. And I think the only thing that would make this thing a perfection would be to have another like screaming head, but that's just me. I always say that about other products. But my gosh, man. Let me just enjoy it just a little bit more. All right, moving on to the next custom. And It's vintage. Okay, talking about best customs I've seen. I just talked about Symbiote Seekers, best custom 2019. I think that it's vintage right here. This is my favorite custom, except for the one that you sent me, player. Okay, I love that custom too. Don't get me wrong here. The fact that he's created a Plastic Man that does not look like any other Plastic Man has been released is a fantastic work. This is not even the finished, completed product. This is a finished product right there, but he's adding extra arms. Dude, this is awesome. I think we need more Plastic Man. I wonder if McFarlane's going to give us one. But dude, come on, man. Go back and take a look at his work in progress shot so you can see how he's built this figure up. And you've nailed the character look. Plastic Man is actually one of my favorite characters. I read him in, I wonder if it wasn't even in the main storyline, but they made him to be like the most powerful DC, I guess you can call him an anti-hero, because he's not really like a good guy at heart, but he kind of turns into a good guy at heart. I don't know. But man, love that custom, fantastic work. Figure this custom, really like this. I like the design. I haven't seen a Spawn necessarily like this. And guess what, guys? It's for sale. So if you like Spawn in a geared up way, I've seen medieval Spawns. I've seen Spawn in his, classic look like McFarlane first penciled him. But here he's geared up with weapons. It's almost like a Punisher Spawn. That would be an interesting custom, right? But love the weapons that you've chosen here. I really love the way you've painted the reds on here, because as you know, Spawn is a gritty. He's penciled in color. He's colored gritty in the comics. And I think the way that you've done it's almost like a blood maroonish red here. Love the washes. Really enjoyed this custom. And I think you selected really good weapons for him. Everything looks great about it. Love it. Good job. Nerd Scum, he actually submitted this to critique my custom, and I was intending to do that. I can't remember. I don't think I did. I think it's a really well done Red Hood. He talks about how he prefers Red Hood to be the villain, so he didn't do the whole symbol that associates him with the bat. I think this is a very well done custom. The only thing, and since I didn't get a chance to critique it, by the way, we do have a show called Critique My Custom, where I bring some buddies of mine, customizers with experience, that give pointers to newer customizers. The only thing I would tell you, and maybe this was a choice that you purposely made, was the finish on the jacket is a little, for my taste, has a little bit too much of a sheen on it. But if that's what you were going for, cool. But I think you did a very admirable job. The other thing I would say with the blood, I don't know what it was that you used. I like a Citadel product because when you look at it, it actually looks like dried blood. I think it's called Blood for the Blood God or something to that nature. I've talked about it in previous posts. But you did a good job on the paint. I like the custom, bro. You did a great job. Inhaled Farts doing... I did enjoy this. I think you selected a very, very good body for this. It just essentially a kit bash where he adds that head to an existing figure, and he colored it, he repainted it. And most of you will recognize this figure. I've personally used parts of this figure. I can't remember what it is, but you guys will recognize it. Maybe put it in the live chat, let me know what it is, or put it in the comments so people know if you want to do this, Mr. Freeze. I think it works perfect for him, and I like your repaint. Great job. I think you haven't done too many customs, and I really like the work that you put out right here. Wow. Marvel Girl, D2 Customs, great work on this. Her classic outfit, it makes me want to have one of these classic Jean Greys or Marvel Girl. Really nice presentation, good work. And I think I have another one of your customs that, your paint apps are super crispy. Look how crispy that X is. He was very meticulous on taping here. And man, so nice. Very, very good paint job. Even though you guys are just seeing, well, shoot, there's just two colors on there. But look how crispy it is, man. There's no paint. I don't see any paint rub on any of this figure. I don't see any like blotches of yellow paint or anything like that. I know what it is. It takes a lot of effort to tape up a figure, and he has nailed this character. The paint app's super crispy. Love it. Moving on to, are we saying 0G1 or OG1 customs? I don't know. It makes sense to be OG, you know, but it could be 0G. I don't know. But regardless, we know that Hasbro's putting this figure out coming soon, but there's absolutely no way that it's going to look this good. I think the paint on C-3PO right there is so nice. And we're going to see some of his work in progress shots so you can actually see where he's gone. And he's added to this, like he added all those wires right there, all the damage. And there you see all the different parts that he's using. Yeah, I think, man, that you so nailed that paint for him. Also, on Chewie, wow, humongous difference, great custom. I would rather have that than what Hasbro will be putting out. All right, Marvel Legends UK. You have a patch on Mr. Fix-It right here, looking pretty sweet. Nice looking patch. And of course, did you repaint? What did you do here with a Fix-It Hulk? I don't have that figure, so I'm not sure where you got that head, but it looks like you may have sculpted some of that hair. I think it came out good. Your repaint came out good. Yeah, nailed the. Look at that. Only thing is, can you put him in this pose, bro? Come on, put Wolverine in that pose. I don't know if the Fix-It Hulk, I don't know if that Kingpin Bath can cross his arms like that, but it would be cool. Wouldn't it have been great if they would have added some sort of hinge like they're doing on Black Series, right? With figures that have this type of articulation. If you would have just added a little bit of that shoulder joint, and I'm not saying you, I'm talking about Hasbro. You did a great job with the customs. But if they would have just added that new shoulder articulations that they're doing with their Black Series on this figure, that would have been dynamite, man. That would have been awesome. Brimstone Ghost, you trying to get on this show, bro? Look, you're pumping out customs. You're Craven just won. And Psylocke looking mighty fine right here. Obviously, you went with the black costume variety. And you're doing Mesco style pretty good. Although that material, I don't know what that material is. I guess that wouldn't fall necessarily Mesco style because they do have a certain look to them. But really great job on those soft goods. I don't even, when I've seen some other customizers try this, their lines, like where the shoulder cutouts or the hip cutouts, you'll usually see some fraying. Sorry, my words were hard. I got stuck there. But you see some fraying. I don't see any fraying on that fabric. I'd be interested in knowing what that fabric is. It looks very good. All right. TCK Customs right here with this version of Gambit. He's resculpted that hair. It looks like he's using a Toy Biz jacket, and he's done some repainting of the body, and the Gambit looks pretty good. I know the hair on the Hasbro release wasn't the greatest, but that Toy Biz jacket works really well. Did you put a wire in that thing? Yeah, you did. It looks, well, at least it looks like you did, or it's laying nicely for you. It looks like you've probably wired it. I've wired a couple of those jackets, and they work so perfect, and it's the cheaper way to go, especially if you can get them in a trade. All right, man, nice work on that. Gambit looks good. All these figures are looking good. This strong show so far. Rai Custom, and I haven't seen the Joker yet, but I have seen obviously some previews, and this is definitely looks like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. People are going to love this custom because it's going to be probably what I'm hearing. It's a fantastic movie. Nobody in my family wants to go watch it with me, and I don't want to go to the theater by myself because I'm not one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to the theater by myself. I'm a social bird. Social bird. DTG figures with a Star Wars custom right here. It's going to be hard to see because he chose a white background with a white figure, but I did want to point out that he's added all these backpacks, or am I wrong? Because, or maybe it's just a repaint. I don't know, I know that Hasbro has released some, but I'm on a budget. I'm like a no spending budget right now, so I haven't bought any Black Series figures. But I think this is one that was recently released. But it's hard for me to tell because I'm not in the Black Series game at the moment, and I am on a spending freeze. Now, I want to say it's almost a model kit. I don't know what it is. It looks cool. I think a different background, and I'm not telling you how to take your pictures. It's just for my, when there's a white, I would like to see something else in the background because then it really shows off the figure. You do take nice photographs, and you probably know more about photography than me. It's just for my visual pleasure. All right. Well, for example, right there, black figure. He's got a white background. It's easier to showcase that figure. And I like it, man. A lot of people are using, and we're going to see another example here, figure this custom. This is your second one, I guess, on this show. And you're using that Mezco head sculpt on this new Hasbro release body. You got the Punisher War Machine. It looks like, did you spray paint that on? Spray paint. Airbrush that skull on. It looks like that's what you've done. You have that spray paint look, which is pretty cool. And we're going to see another customizer do a very similar thing, but take it a completely different angle. I meant a similar character, the same character. James Roseboro doing a Super Scroll right here. Definitely like the parts you've used. Very interesting coloration. You definitely got your own style. Very recognizable. As soon as I see your repaint, I know it's yours because the way you shade and stuff like that. I dig it, man. I like your style. What Hulk are you using? What arms are those? It almost looks like SH Figure Arts. Did you get a KO? Because I can't imagine that you would have broken up. Oh, maybe you did. Maybe you got Deep Pockets player. But that's a Super Scroll. Like it. We're supposed to be getting one. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Build-A-Figure or not, but it's coming. I think in the spring. I could be wrong about that. Jacob's Toys reworking one of the Wolverines that we have into this uniform. Really cool. Accomplished the look of this. I don't think you have a picture from the comic, so I can't show the folks watching. But I think you've completely transformed the original figure. Obviously, it's going to be one of the Wolverines. I don't know which one you use, either brown suit or the tiger stripe. But man, good work on getting that uniform down. And here's this pretty much a similar figure. Got Malik. Has gone a completely different way, and he's done something very unique. A Joker Wolverine crossover figure that's very interesting to look at. Beautiful picture. Dig it. It's kind of hard to completely see because you like what I was mentioning. Whoa, man, I'm not trying to be critiquing your photo skills. You're all the people that I've said stuff about their photos, they take better photos than I do. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm not a photographer. All right, so here's another Punisher War Machine, and this is not the one that I was referring to, but I guess we're gonna have 3 on the show. Really like how he's geared up. Beautiful photograph. Very awesome presentation. It's hard for me to talk about the custom because I don't see the whole entire thing, other than it looks like you've done a great paint job on it. The mask came out really good. Very accurate, and your picture is off the hook, bro. The focus, everything about it makes the figure stand out, and I like it. New Future Customs going with a crossover, and it's going to be, he's calling it Battle Cat Man. It's a crossover between the Thundercats and Masters of the Universe, and what he's used is a 3-pack, words are difficult, Hulk torso and quads, Ant-Man bath hip joint modified, Abomination bath arms modified to be longer, Magic Gathering tiger lower legs and feet. And then of course he hand painted everything else. There's a lot of sculpting involved on here. And let me just show you what he was able to get. A very unique looking figure. There's the backside, and there's the work in progress. You can see he's done a lot of sculpting on it. Sculpted the musculature, and then he moved over to the fur. A lot of work was put into that, and there's the character design or the idea from the art that he got. Nicely done, man. Tosh Customs. Oh, man. I really like how that shield came out. Battle worn Captain America shield, but obviously it's going to be Bucky Cap that has this. Or are we doing, or is he the Winter Soldier? Yeah, I think he'll be the Winter Soldier on this one. He's got the star on his shoulder. I think it's a repaint of a figure that came out. I believe it is a repaint. Or did you do something else to it? This, I guess, is an older custom, but man, what a humongous difference. I think it is a repaint. I'm going to go with that. Final answer. And he's done a great job of bringing it out, all the details, different color hues of blue there. But the shield is super impressive to me. I like how, it looks like he's just been in battle after battle. And of course, the material's not going to be wearing out, but the paint will. All right. Oi Bob with a Jason Voorhees right here. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit because he chose it. Let me see what he says here. I want to read to you. He says he's not super huge, but he's much more menacing. He's added all the soft goods. And he's trying to do a Mesco style Jason Voorhees right here. But it's Marvel Legends scale. Let me see if he has a scale to show right here. I'm not a huge fan of horror figures, but I'm a fan of custom action figures, and I think the soft goods that you use there, plus all I like the blood that you added right there, especially around the waist. And oh wait, hold on, let me go back. We'll get back to Scream here in a second. But I wanted to point that out. He's got blood in a very appropriate places. For example, it's just not all over his jacket, but it's in very parts in the jacket where you would imagine a killing machine like Jason Voorhees to have right there on the sleeve. He's obviously has an axe on his left hand. It makes sense that he would have some blood there. And then he's got blood spatter on his chest. It just looked very natural that where the blood appeared. Wilder custom action figures with this Scream. It's a much different coloration that I'm used to. I think it looks really well done. I like the colors on her. And here's the other one that I was talking about, Wenzilla here. And he had actually another custom figure that I wanted to showcase. It was an R2-D2 version. Go check him out. He's got an IGTV video, but I just couldn't use it for this show. So go check out that figure. But I like where he's taken it here. He actually sculpted the skull on instead of painting it, which is a lot different. It's going to come out a lot different than just the painted on skulls that we've seen on these figures. So I really like it. I like how he's armed him up, and as War Machine or Punisher War Machine should be. JTN Aldo or JT Naldo. You figure it out, guys. Mesco style. He has a Nightwing here. Looks really nice. Good job on the suit. And that's one of my favorite Nightwing heads. That one's also really nice too. But the other one's my favorite Nightwing head. I actually did a custom as well using that very figure head. All right, moving on to Charlie de Anda. Here we have Marca Diablos. That's what he goes for. This is going to be a Red Sonja. He's done one before. Looks like he's using a Thundra, or at least parts of a Thundra body. I'm not sure if that's the whole entire body. He's obviously done some sculpting there on her uniform. And I can always tell it's Thundra because of the abs. Thundra has very defined abs. Good job on that head sculpt too. It looks very nice. Moving on to Pañuelo 25. And he's resculpted the original figure. You can see how he's dremeled down or sanded down that, and he's resculpted his armor. And let's take a look at this figure. He's giving a completely different look for Rocket Raccoon, and it's a cool idea, man. So if you didn't want that movie uniform, that's where he took it from. That's the before and that's the after. You can see that he's put a lot of work into that figure. Kilo Echo Arts doing his symbiote thing. This is, what the heck is this? It's still a work in progress. So I like the sculpting. Your sculpting's getting better. Every single figure that you're putting out, you can see your sculpting's becoming more and more refined. And there you go. You guys can see his work in progress. It looks like he's working with either Aves. I'm not sure if that's Milliput. It could be Milliput or Aves. Maybe it's Milliput. It's probably Milliput. Final answer, Milliput. Am I right? And yeah, so I think your sculpting is definitely getting better. The more you do it, you're gonna get better. Keep working on your craft, sir. Here's another work in progress by Left Hook Customs. And I've been following, he's been posting it on Facebook is where I've seen this character. And this is not the finished product. He's using the 14-inch Hulk as the base. That's what's under there, and everything else is sculpted. And one of the things that I wanted to point out, you can't see in one of these work in progress, but he's using foil as a filler. Obviously, if he was going to have that all be putty, that would be a super, super heavy, top-heavy figure. But he's filled that in with foil, which a lot of sculptors do, or they have other types of fillers. But this is going to be a very cool custom. I'm going to keep my eyeball for it when he finishes it. I dig it. Talk about sculpting. Draw Customs here. Is this The Witcher? What's his name? I can't. Geralt, that's right. Or Geralt. I didn't play the video games. But he's doing all those weapon the sheaths. But the sculpting, and the reason that the sculpting is impressive, and other customizers that have been doing this for a while will tell you, he's using Procreate to do that. Procreate is not easy to work with. At least I haven't figured it out. I've asked other customizers. They have their own struggles with Procreate, but he's doing the armor, man, and it looks good, man. And he's making it functional. He's making that armor functional, and I cannot wait to see that figure finish. By the way, guys, if you enjoy this show, make sure you hit the bell notification. That way you are going to get informed when the show is getting put out. I'm putting it out on a weekly basis. YouTube, for some reason, isn't pushing forth my content. I've noticed it in the analytics. So I think maybe I don't want to be one of those conspiracy theorists, but I think they're going to be pushing out toy channels coming out at the beginning of the year. So if you want to stay informed with my stuff, make sure you hit the bell. That way you know when I post to YouTube. And I had to talk about this. I don't know how in the world I missed this. I can't remember covering it. I've covered other stuff that he's done. Demonic Poo Creations sent me this head sculpt. It was a surprise. And oh my gosh, man, the absolute joy when I opened this thing up and I saw his brains and the skull fragments. There's so much detail on this head sculpt. He designed this in 3D, and I've never had a head sculpt. It's the quality when I feel it. It feels qualitatively different than any other head sculpt that I've ordered that comes with Marvel Legends Actions figures. It just feels different. It's a higher quality. I can't say enough about the paint job as well. Really nice job. Very close to the green on the most recent Hulk that was released. I need to get another Hulk now because I need to have this Immortal Hulk head. I think he nails the design, just like some of the other customizers that have done Immortal Hulks, like Markai Lab Creations and Symbiote Seeker. I can't think of somebody else. Maybe was it Joe that did it? I can't remember now. But man, if you're interested in getting that head, go hit him up. And with that, let's get to the top 5 for this week. And here we go. We're going to begin the voting with Symbiote Seeker's Absolute Carnage, Absolute Beast of a Custom. Then we're going to go with Bargain Bin Customs Killer Croc. I think I called him Brimstone Ghost earlier. Sorry about that. It happens, player. Number 3, Christina Conan's Rogue. And then we move on to It's Vintage Plastic Man. And finally, OG1 Customs 2-pack here with Chewy and C3PO. Thank you to all the customizers that submitted your customs to #ThisWeekInCustoms on Instagram. Thank you so much for the fans supporting the episode. Please share this video with one nerd friend. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Hit the bell notification, player, so YouTube doesn't kill the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Also, please don't forget to vote for the Q3 winner. The voting is happening right now as we speak. Get after it. Go to the community tab. Vote on this one. Vote on the other one. I appreciate your support in that. Also, If you did not get a chance to watch the episode I shot last night live with JBR3 Collector, I think that's what his handle is, Joey. We talked about must-have Marvel Legends in your collection. Make sure you go check that out. All right, players, catch you on the next one. Brock is out.